Today you're going to learn about 5 crystals that I think are going to massively support you and your healing work as we move more fully into 2026. You've probably noticed that it's pretty crazy out there and there's some really major planetary shifts that are happening this year. And so the more that we can stay centered, feel balanced, and really connect to our own inner wisdom, the more that we're going to be able to harness these energies and use them to our advantage, because we have free will. The energies are happening all the time anyway, but we can choose if we want to lean into them or if we prefer to protect ourselves while these energies are moving through. I've been working with crystals for more than 20 years now, and I love bringing them into my work when I'm working with other people. And sometimes clients, the people around me, are skeptical, especially because crystals can sometimes feel a bit too woo-woo. People might come for an astrology reading. There's a bit more science and maths behind it. Whereas when it comes to something like crystals and an idea of tuning into energies, some people are simply more resistant. And I always give people the option. But I felt and experienced their power. And so when people are open to crystals and the support that they can give us, then they really start to feel that, the subtle vibrations that crystals have, the gentle nudges that crystals can give us, the insights that crystals can bring us if we meditate with them. Let's move on to crystal number 1. One of the astrological moments that all astrologers are talking about at the moment is this connection between Neptune and Saturn in the sign of Aries. Now, it's not unusual for these two planets to meet up. They meet up about every 35 years or so. But the unusual thing is that they're meeting up on the 0 point of Aries. This point is the beginning of the zodiac. So this is an incredibly powerful astrological moment when these two planets, Saturn, the planet of structure, of boundaries, of building, of manifesting, of making things real, bringing things into reality, is connecting with this planet of compassion, of oneness, our dreams, our imagination. And so what is it that we really want to manifest? What is it that we really want to bring into this world? This is an amazing opportunity to really focus in on that. But it has to be for the highest good of all, because that's what Neptune, the higher expression of Neptune, is. And it's happening at this point in Aries, which is all about individuality. It's about us believing in ourselves, trusting that inner truth. We're letting go of this idea of being guided by gurus, which is very much Neptune in Pisces. And now it's more about us finding our own inner guide. And I think this is just so relevant for the time that we're in. And so maybe you're feeling the calling to change something in your life. Maybe you're just naturally moving into a new version of yourself. Aries is very much about believing in yourself, having courage, being brave. And so the crystal that I've chosen for this astrological connection is fluorite. As I was deciding which crystals felt right for each of these seasons that we're going to be going through, fluorite came through very strongly. So this is my fluorite crystal, and fluorite comes in many different colors. You can get it in green, you can get it in purple, there's even some more rarer versions in yellow. Sometimes they can be mixed and rainbow, but fluorite has a lovely energy for helping us to connect our thoughts and really get clarity over what it is that we want to manifest. And so this is going to be really helpful when you are thinking about what it is that you want to become, how you want this new version of yourself to really look in the world, and what it is that you want to bring to the world that's going to make it a better place. Like I mentioned before, really important that whatever it is that we want to manifest is for the highest good of all. And fluorite helps us to hone in on that, to really cut through illusions and to believe in ourselves, finding our sovereignty while still remaining compassionate and understanding, which is very much what Neptune is about. Let me tell you a bit more about fluorite. Fluorite stimulates the free spirit that wishes to determine and shape his or her own life. It makes us aware of where we are being controlled by outside influences and are not playing our own game, and helps us rapidly dissolve these undesirable influences. Fluorite can make us radical and uncompromising whenever we come across injustice or oppressive structures. And so how can you use fluorite? You can wear fluorite as jewelry. You can wear it as a wristband as well. When I'm meditating with crystals, I tend to sit down in a cross-legged position and I'll have a crystal just below eye level so that I can focus in on it. This is a really good way to connect with that energy of fluorite, especially if you want to cut through that confusion that inevitably we're going to be faced with as we're moving into these energies, because a lot of people don't know how to handle these energies. That's why you're going to be at an advantage, because you know they're coming and you know that you can manage your energy and that crystals can support you in that. Because at this time, you managing your energy is going to help the people around you. It's going to help your clients because they're going to be looking to you for clarity. And fluorite can really help you to bring that clarity, not only to yourself, but also to the people that you're working with. Crystal number 2, this is chalcedony. It's a beautiful blue, light blue crystal. It's not completely opaque. You might be able to see that it's got some really faint layers in it. This is through its formation, which causes it to solidify and crystallize in these beautiful layers. So you might even notice that crystals, we can often sense what their properties might be, how they might support us by their color, by the way that we feel when we see them. And so for me, this chalcedony has a really calming look about it. And because we are into eclipse season and we're changing eclipse signs, then I just felt really called to bring this crystal in. Blue chalcedony bestows a light-heartedness, a carefree, elated feeling for life with an optimistic tenor. It enhances conscious self-awareness through improving perception of our feelings, emotions, desires, and needs. With this crystal, we remain mentally open to new ideas. It generally eases understanding and helps us to translate ideas we agree with into action. This crystal also helps to increase creativity and openness to inspiration. With its soothing properties, I really felt that chalcedony was a nice crystal as we transition from the health axis, Pisces and Virgo, which can really make us feel mentally overloaded. The body can sometimes feel overwhelmed. And so this crystal helps to soothe the energy, to become less focused on the body and to bring out that creative side, that intuitive side, which is very much about where we're going, because we're moving into this axis of Leo and Aquarius as the eclipses change signs for the first time this year in about 2.5 years. And so this is a real shift of energy. And if you think back to about 18 years ago, we were also on this same cusp between this Pisces Virgo axis and this Leo Aquarius axis. So if you can think back to that time, you might notice a resonance to what's happening in your life now. What was just beginning in your life at that time? What was just around the corner? Because that might give you an indication of some of the energies that you're going into in this year. And it's not to say that things are going to be exactly the same as that time. There's a resonance, and each time there is a repetition. This is a thing that I talk about a lot in my readings, about looking at patterns, how we can evolve with those patterns. Whatever happened last time is now being asked to evolve in a new way as it comes around in this cycle. So how can you use chalcedony? I think chalcedony is a really nice crystal to lie on the body. So if you're doing a lying down meditation, this is a really nice one to have on the chest. You can have it on the throat area. You could even have it on the third eye. You could hold one in each hand as you're meditating. It's also a crystal to connect with when you're in water. So if you have a big crystal, for example, you could keep it in the bathroom for a while and just connect with that crystal every time you go into the bathroom, when you're near water, and ask for the blessings that water can bring us every time that we use water, consume water, or bathe in water. Let me know in the comments below if you have any of these crystals, or if you would choose something else for these particular astrological moments. And what I found is that if you ask, for example, AI what crystals they would recommend for the astrological moments, they're going to choose very different crystals. They'll choose like a textbook example of what you would choose. And that's great. There might be some truth in those crystals that AI chooses for you. But for me, it was more important for me to connect with my crystals and ask, what do you, who's watching my videos now, really need at this time to support you? What crystals will really connect with you, with your energy, and support you in your work? And this is why I've chosen the crystals that I have chosen. So crystal number 3 that I've chosen is labradorite. It's a bit of a mouthful for me, but I absolutely love this crystal. So it has this incredible iridescent color, if you can see that. And you can get these in all different shapes and sizes. They just have this magical feel about them. These are an illusion buster. And the transit that I have connected this crystal to is Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini. This is another major transit. It's moving out of the solid, grounded, more methodical moving sign of Taurus into this very fast air, communicative, light energy of Gemini. Let me tell you a little bit more about this crystal. Labradorite helps us develop a childlike enthusiasm and a host of new ideas. It bestows a lively creativity. Labradorite is an outstanding illusion killer, like its colourful display of iridescence. It clearly shows us our goals and intentions, so we suddenly see their real shape. For me, this crystal is about awakening. And we had a short period of time last year when Uranus was in Gemini, and suddenly I noticed I was getting intuitive messages in my dreams about people's past lives. I'd never had this experience before. And it was something that just came to me, and I was like, wow, is this even real? So the energy of Uranus in Gemini is very much about activating the mind and activating part of the minds that perhaps we've never used before. And so this crystal is really going to support us, and it can really jumpstart that intuitive, that new connection with spirit, with intuition, with your guides. Because it's a crystal that's it's much more solid than the other ones. It is a rock that has this iridescent side to it, but there's something very solid and grounding. It's like the insights that you'll get when you're working with this crystal are your truth. And something that can happen when we're working with Gemini energy is that there's some confusion about what the truth is, because there's so many options. There's the possibility to see so many perspectives. So this crystal is really going to ground us into our personal truth and really help us to have trust in the insights and the downloads that we're receiving. Crystal number 4 is citrine. So I'm sure you're very familiar with this crystal. Citrine is part of the quartz family. And it has this translucent, sunshiny, yellowy color. Sometimes it has white bubbles in the middle. It comes in many different forms. It also comes in cluster forms. I got this piece when I was in Thailand once, and I just absolutely love the clarity of it. And probably you have citrine in your collection. It's one that most people have. And I thought that this was going to be a great energy as Jupiter is moving into the sign of Leo. So Leo is the sun sign. Its ruling planet is the sun. And so when Jupiter, the planet of abundance, of belief, of faith, of expansion, moves into the sign of Leo, it's almost a reflection of that Aries energy that we talked about earlier, because the sun sign is our individuality. It's how we individually shine, how we show up in the world. And Jupiter is coming in and going, hey, let's expand you. And citrine really emphasizes that. Let me tell you a little bit more about citrine. Citrine encourages individuality, self-confidence, and the courage to face and enjoy life. It makes us dynamic and encourages a desire for variety, new experiences, and self-realization. Citrine bestows joie de vivre, a joy for life. It helps us overcome depression and free ourselves from oppressive influences. And so doesn't that feel like the energy that we need in 2026? Doesn't that feel like the energy that you want to bring to your clients? That you have so much trust in yourself, that you have so much faith in the information that's coming through for you, that it doesn't matter what's going on outside, that you can tune in to what your client needs. And even if your mind's saying something else, if there's an intuitive part of you, if your heart is saying, try this thing, just mention that word, then this is your intuitive guidance coming through. How can you work with citrine? Again, the things that we've talked about. Another really nice way that you can work with citrine is to create a very simple gem water. So this is so easy to do. You have a glass of water, and in the morning you put a citrine crystal next to the glass, not inside the glass, just next to the glass, and allow that crystal to stay with the water for a few hours, at least a couple of hours. Incredibly, the water absorbs the properties and the energy of the crystal, and you'll notice that the water tastes slightly different. And so in this way, you're absorbing the ideas that we just spoke about citrine, that joie de vivre, that belief in yourself, that drive for self-expression. And if you're loving all of this talk about crystals, I do a personalized crystal guide, which is based specifically on your astrological birth chart and the crystals that will most align with you for the months ahead. If you are interested in that, I'll leave the link below the video. Okay, the final crystal, crystal number 5, that will be a massive support for you during 2026. And this is the crystal that you choose. What I want you to do here is line your crystals up in front of you. You might have a lot like me, or you might just have a few. It really doesn't matter. Line your crystals up. You're going to put your hands on your heart. Breathe in. Slowly, calmly breathe out. And just look at your crystals. You might take another breath if you like, just to lower the brainwaves, just to come into that calm state. And you're just going to ask, what crystal will most support me during this year? And just see what comes to you. Maybe you're drawn to one crystal. Maybe you automatically pick up one of your crystals. You might pass your hand over your crystals and see if there's an energy that you can sense in your hand over one crystal more than the others. Something will intuitively draw you to one of your crystals. And that is your crystal number 5. Let me know if you have these crystals. Let me know if you're already working with them or if they're new for you. And I'd love to know if you are connecting with their vibrations. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I'm excited about coming back again for the next one. And if you're still not sure about how to connect with your crystals, I've got a great video that I did a little while ago. It's a really short crystal guide with a meditation to help you connect with your crystal with intention. So I'll make sure that I leave that link with this video as well.